Hey everybody, it's Markwell Cade with Cade Mark Law, your favorite neighborhood lawyer, back with another free resource for you. Today, we're going to talk about the 4 most common types of business entities. The first most common type of business entity is a sole proprietorship. A sole proprietorship is easy to understand. It's a business with a single owner. There are no requirements to create this type of business. You don't have to file with the Secretary of State like you do for LLCs or other common entity types. But for sole proprietorships, the important thing to remember is that they have a single owner. The second most common type of business entity is a partnership. Now, generally speaking, a partnership is a business entity that has 2 or more owners. There are 2 types of partnerships: general partnerships and limited partnerships. There are also limited liability partnerships, but these are more for law offices and accounting firms, and certain states have restrictions on forming limited liability partnerships or LLPs. But generally speaking, you're going to have 2 different types of partnerships: a general partnership and a limited partnership. A general partnership is very similar to a sole proprietorship. A general partnership requires no registration with the Secretary of State. They're very easy to form, and usually they require no formal documentation to create at all. They just require 2 or more owners willing to enter into a business venture together. On the other hand, limited partnerships are a registered business entity. Unlike general partnerships and sole proprietorships, they require registration, often with the Secretary of State, for you to form the partnership. Limited partnerships are also different in that you can have 2 different types of partners. You can have a partner that assumes liability for the business, and you can have a partner that acts simply as an investor but doesn't assume liability for the business. The partners that assume liability for the business are known as the general partners in a limited partnership. And the partners who simply are investors are sometimes called silent partners. The third most common type of business entity is everyone's favorite, the LLC. An LLC is a limited liability company. They require registration with the Secretary of State. They are a registered business entity. And they're a registered business entity that can be formed by 2 or more members, just like a general partnership or a limited partnership. The major difference between a limited liability company and a partnership is oftentimes, unless you're forming a limited partnership, there's liability there. And limited liability companies protect you personally from the liability of your company, from the obligations and the debts and the assets that your company may owe another party. Everyone loves LLCs because of their flexibility. Not only do they offer the liability protections of corporations, but they're easy to run and set up like sole proprietorships or general partnerships. Everyone loves an LLC, but they should remember, an LLC can act as a different type of business entity in certain circumstances. You can have your LLC taxed as a corporation, an S-Corp to be exact, to save yourself double taxation. You can have certain types of member-managed or manager-managed LLCs. LLCs are very easy to understand, but they can also get very complicated. Seek a lawyer if an LLC is something that you're interested in pursuing. The 4th most common type of business entity is something everyone's familiar with: corporations. Corporations like Coca-Cola, Starbucks, Bank of America, Chase. I could go on and on. Everyone's heard of a corporation, but very few people are aware that there are a few different types of corporations. The formation of corporations is generally the same. However, there are important distinctions and tax elections that you can make to distinguish your corporation as a C corporation or an S corporation. Now, while C corporations and S corporations are more tax elections and signifiers that fall under the umbrella of the larger corporation's business entity, it's important to understand the differences between a C Corp and an S Corp and how they can help you and provide significant tax breaks as you're starting your business. I know personally, just as one fun fact, that S Corps prevent double taxation. They allow you to put more of that money back into your pocket as the business owner. That's all, folks. Thank you so much for joining us today. This has been the 4 most common types of business entities. Once again, I am Markwell Cade with Cade Mark Law, your favorite neighborhood lawyer. Protect your brand, grow your business. Stay frosty, my friends. We'll see you next time. We hope this was helpful.